My name is Jesse Payne. I'm with CrossView Church, and here sharing my testimony on this Testimony Tuesday. This is just a brief testimony. It's not a full testimony, just so you know. I could talk for hours about how Jesus has changed my life, but I just wanted to share with you a brief testimony about how I came to Christ and how, in one way, He's changed my life. Among the many of ways He's changed it. So I grew up in and out of church my entire life, teenage years and childhood, with family and friends, going with them. But throughout any of that time, I never gave my life fully to Christ. I learned about who Jesus was, heard all the Bible stories, but it just didn't click with me, I guess you say. Later on in life, I ended up working with this guy at Ragu, and he came in and shared about how he's starting to go to this new church and how much he's really enjoying it and how it's changing his life. And it got me to thinking about what I was missing in my life. I always felt like I was missing something, but I didn't know what it was. So I started to read my Bible, and I read all the way through my Bible. I don't remember exactly how long it took me, but it was several months. But even after I got done reading the Bible all the way through, I still felt like I was missing something. It led me to know that I was missing something in my life. So one Saturday night, I decided I was going to go and talk to Megan. So she was in the kitchen, so I walked in there, and I told her that I was going to go to church on Sunday. I knew that Megan had some problems with religion and other churches throughout her upbringing. We've talked about that briefly together, so I was kind of hesitant about talking to her about going to church on Sunday, but I wanted to invite her. I didn't really want to go without my wife, so I went in there. I was scared to tell her that I was going, but as soon as I told her that I was going, she instantly said, "Well, if you're going, I'm going with you." So we make a running joke about that all the time now, about how scared I was to tell her that I was going to go to church, but you know, it ended up being the greatest thing we ever done. So we ended up going to church that Sunday, and for a couple of Sundays we went to one church here locally. It was a great church, but we just didn't feel connected to it. So Megan happened to remember that one of her high school schoolmates was preaching with Life Community Church. So we ended up going and listening to him preach. End up getting instantly connected with that church. Instantly they made us feel like family, felt like we were at home, and so we really enjoyed it. And so we've been with them for over 10 years now. And so one of the things that I wanted to share with you happened within the first year of giving my life to Jesus. It actually happened instantaneously. I just didn't realize that it happened until after about a year. So I gave my life to Christ, and then about a year later, through a random conversation, death was brought up. And beforehand, I really struggled with anxiety and panic attacks and sleepless nights, constantly worrying about what would happen to me if I died. I didn't know where I would go, if we went anywhere. If you closed your eyes and went to sleep and died in your sleep, you just went off into blackness. That's what I worried about. I would stay up struggling with panic attacks because I was scared to close my eyes, because I was scared I would never wake up. And I didn't know what happened with me. I wouldn't know what would happen with my family because of all this. And so I really struggled with this quite bad. And it actually got worse when we had Phoenix. My anxiety doubled. And so I was worried about what would happen with my kids if something happened to me. And so, like I said, a year later, after giving my life to Christ, this conversation of death happened to arise, and that's when I realized that since the day I gave my life to Christ, I've never once again had a panic attack, dealt with anxiety, or worried about what would happen if I was to pass away. I would go to bed at night with a complete assurance that if something was to happen to me, I know exactly where I'm going. My life has been given to Jesus, and I'm going to be with Him when I pass away. I know this 100%. I also know that through my church, I have comfort that if I was to pass early in life, then my family's taken care of, not only by the family that God has given me through birth, but also by the family that He's given me through the church. I know my church family will look after my wife and kids if something was to happen to me. So I have assurance on both ends, and I don't worry about it at all anymore. I know this seems kind of like a small, trivial thing to some, but if you've ever dealt with this type of anxiety, you know what I'm talking about, and it's crippling. I mean, it keeps you up at night, and it wears on you, wears you out. But like I said, because of Jesus, I don't ever deal with this anymore. I have assurance that I'm going to heaven, and this is just one way in which Christ has changed my life. But this is what I want to share with y'all today, and I hope if it speaks to anybody that, or if you're struggling with the same type of anxiety problems and panic attacks and stuff that comes along because you're worried about where you're going to go when you pass and you don't know Christ, then come and talk to any of us at CrossView. Go talk to anybody at LCC. Find a local church and just talk with somebody who knows Christ and let Him change your life as well. And that's what I wanted to share with y'all today. Hope y'all have a wonderful Tuesday.